Growing up ugly. Like synonym for ugly should be insecure instead of being hideous, unpleasant, unattractive, or plain looking. I think it should be a synonym for insecure, being egoistic or arrogant or rude. I feel it should be a noun, not an adjective, because I believe it's a state of feeling insecure. What's up, 1 billion gang? It's Divine, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, hi, welcome to Divine's Journal. So I've always wanted to make this video. The video is inspired by this mood board of these different awesome creators. But yeah, I've always wanted to make the video because I believe everybody at some point in their life have felt ugly. But people with different variations, depressions, and people have dysmorphia. I believe beauty is a very subjective term. What might be called beautiful, considered beautiful to me, might not be considered beautiful to you. The first chapter, so I'm always saying this literally. I think I've said this a lot on this channel. I used to be an introvert, or I'll consider myself an ambivert. But when I was an introvert, I never really talked to people. I never really had friends. I most of the time talked to only my siblings. I never really felt the need to be close to my parents. I never really liked people at that time. I was not a fan. I was not a fan of people. And you know what's crazy? I was not a fan of people, but I was not a fan of myself either. So most of the friends I had were my parents' friends, children, or my church members from just family friends. Exactly, family friends. The first friend I had was in primary 2, and she became my friend because she was the extrovert friend and I was the introvert friend. She was really a moral support. I doubt she remembers Misha. Well, yeah, she was cool. I digress. I was not really a fan of people. And if you're an introvert, I am very sure that because of you rarely talk to people, most of the conversation that happens takes place in your mind, not with the people. Most of the time, you are processing things in your mind rather than speaking out. After primary school, I really wanted to come out of being an introvert. When I got to secondary school, because my secondary school was a different location, different environment, different culture, it was just really a cultural shock for me because I did not know how to speak the language, talking to people, which I don't normally do. There's just a lot of many people don't know this. When I saw I had to change environment, I just made this alter ego. I won't call it an alter ego, I'll just call the phrase itself fake it till you make it. I was not an extrovert, but I decided that when I got to secondary school, I would try my best as much as possible not to be shy. Even though I knew I was shy, I would try my best as much as possible to be the opposite of being shy, opposite of being timid, to be the opposite of all those insecurities I already had growing up. I want you to note something now. You are influenced by somebody or something one way or the other. You might know or you might not know. And that's where being ugly, term or the phrase being ugly comes from. Because of, like I said, beauty is subjective. What you are seeing, you place your insecurities and you judge yourself based off of what you are influenced by. For example, if you are in a place where everybody sets the beauty standard, looking fat, quote and unquote, they say that's a beauty standard in that area, and you're the only thin person in that area, everybody there is fat, they will place it on you that you are not up to the standard, intentionally or unintentionally, and you start to judge yourself that you don't fit in. Same thing goes for anything you can think of. And that's how influence is. Anything you can think of, whether it's social media or physically in your environment, or even words. Words are like seeds and they germinate and produce fruits, good or bad. And now getting to secondary school, I was trying to like get closer to God. I was becoming more independent, adolescent. I was down on my own because I went to a boarding school. So I really wanted to come out of being an introvert. And like I said, we're influenced by different things. Like at that time, I think primary school was when I watched High School Musical, or the beginning of secondary school, I can't remember. But I was influenced by those movies I watched, that's what high school or secondary school is going to look like. Going to have friends, you're going to have a clique, you're going to be free, you make decisions by yourself. Yeah. So I really wanted that life, not to be an introvert with just my siblings, just my circle. I wanted to, yeah, experience that life. The first lesson I want you to learn from this video is that if you can't get there, if you think you have to fit into beauty standards, fake it till you make it. So what's the opposite of insecurity? To be secure, to be confident, to be assured, know your worth, to have self appreciation, self love. Yes. So fake it till you make it that you're confident. Fake it till you make it that you appreciate yourself. Fake it till you make it that you're not insecure about whatever you're insecure about. Whether it's your skin color, whether it is your hair type, whether it is your teeth, whether it is your height, whether it is your body weight, whatever it is you're insecure about, fake it till you make it that you're confident with whatever insecurity you have. This is like a journal video, and this is a journal entry. This is my journal. So whatever insecurities you have, I want you to write them down. I'm going to state out my some of my insecurities I had and some that I might still have and I'm working on. First thing is height. That last video I talked about confidence and not seeking validation. When I was in primary school, I was short, but I always knew that I was going to grow. I watched Barbie, I watched High School Musical, I watched teenage movies, and in my head I'm like, I'm still young. Young version of me, I'm still going to grow up. I always thought I'll still grow. So in primary school, I was not insecure about my height. But when I got to secondary school, that was when the insecurity hit in. High school, SS1, SS2, because I was growing older this time and I was still small. There was this person I liked. The person was like, he wants me to grow taller. You see, that's where insecurities come in, seeking validation from people. So I really wanted to grow taller because of that. Sometimes my friends with both boys and girls, they would tease me and be like, grow taller.
What?
And at that time, it was no jokes. Like I never liked people making fun of my height. I hated it so much. I was very insecure about it. But right now, I can joke about my height. Like I'm not insecure about my height at all. At all. And if somebody wants to portray or push their insecurity on me and make me feel bad about my height, the person is gonna lose because I know I'm short. You don't need to tell me. I know by myself for a fact that I am short. In short, no pun intended. In short, my parents are both short, so and I look like both of my parents a lot. Like I look at like both of them a lot at the same time. To tell you how insecure I was, I would literally be praying to God, God please make me taller. I need to grow taller. I need to grow taller. I need to grow taller. Just because of I wanted to please people's validation about me, get people's validation about me. When I saw that I wasn't growing taller when I was in, like entering high school, I was like, God, please, even if I'm not growing taller, let my siblings grow taller. Because I'm the first girl and I have like four younger siblings. So I'm like, if somebody sees me this short, how will I describe my siblings to them? They'll make more fun of me and I'll be more insecure. Oh my god, that was so funny. So I begged God that please let my siblings be taller so at least I can brag about it when people say, oh, you are short. Then how short will your siblings be? I'll tell them, oh, I'm the one that is small in the house. I just really wanted that. So at least if I'm not tall, let my siblings be tall. Anyway, yeah, that's how I battled height. Another insecurity I had was my teeth. I said so in my last video. I did not like smiling in photos. Like anytime, whether I was at home or in school, this was already from this teeth insecurity was from home. Not even when I got to high school or secondary school. It already started since when I was at home. Growing up, I hated photos because anytime we took photos, I was always the ugliest person in the photo. I was always the ugliest duckling. And I don't know, maybe this I was influenced by my mom because my mom hates photos. At that time, I hated photos from bottom of my heart because I will not be fine in the photos. I will always come out ugly. I will always be the person that will spoil the photo. So I hated photos. And my dad used to take photos of us a lot. Most of the times, I am either frowning or pouting or my eyebrows are like angry bird. I just don't want to be there. Growing up, the best photo I took when I was quite younger was my fifth birthday, and I can't remember why I was so excited to turn five. Maybe I felt like I was a big child. My 50-year old birthday, I was smiling a lot. I was just so happy. And you know what was funny? I was so confident that day. I was so happy that day. And all the photos, I came out looking so pretty just because of how happy I was, how confident I was. And I realized that even when I go for photo shoots, when I am very confident in the photo, with, especially when the photographer is directing me well and it makes me feel confident. It doesn't make me feel insecure about myself. Those photos come out far better than when the photographer makes me feel insecure about myself. I've learned that, I'm still learning it. Confidence starts from you. Apart from my teeth, my legs. You know what they call in Nigeria? They call it yam leg. Because I'm small in stature, to balance out my weight, I have to have calves. Like my calves, people actually work out for this thing. In Nigeria, they call it body shaming people. They call it yam leg. So if you have yam leg, they'll rate you bad just because you have yam leg. So what's go growing up? You know when you grow taller, I don't know, but at that time when I was like a teenager, I had stretch marks on my legs, like and most of my friends did. I started growing yam legs, so it became another consciousness for me. Have to be conscious. I don't want to stand and eat. I don't want to. At one point, I was like, I don't care. I don't care if I have yam leg. I don't care. I don't care. What can I do? What more can I do? Nothing's gonna happen to me. So I just had to accept it. Like, and for a fact, I don't have yam legs. Like my legs are just my legs. It's just insecurity that people portray on you, and you start believing that it start happening to you. Same thing goes for being fat phobia. Right from when I was in primary school, I'd always been a thin person at home. Because I told you guys in my last video that I have collarbones. I've always been thin. When I got to secondary school, because of in my house, genetically we have fast puberty. I already grew bust. I started growing hips. I had thick thighs. When I got to secondary school, boarding school, my mates make it look like I am the fat person. Meanwhile, I'm not fat. Like I am not fat. But because I am short and I am busty and I have hips and I have thick thighs, I was considered fat. And I started thinking I was fat. I started placing myself as being fat. I started feeling insecure about my thighs. I started harnessing all those feelings of insecurity. There was this one time in primary school, we're asked to bring mufti to school. But my mom said she wasn't going to give me mufti to school, that I'm going to wear only my uniforms. That she doesn't want to wash any extra clothes or something like that. And I was very, very stubborn as an introvert. Like I always wanted to have things go my way. So I decided myself to select my mufti and I kept it in my school bag. When I got to school during break time, we're asked to change to mufti. I changed to mufti. My siblings, my sisters, because we attended the same primary school, they weren't with any mufti, so they were the odd ones out, and everybody was wearing mufti, so they were the only ones not wearing mufti. I still remember this so clearly. And they saw me wearing mufti. I was so happy. Guess what? My mom beat the hell out of me. Like the way she beats me. And you know, I felt like I achieved even when she beats me because at least I was not the odd person out. I was not the odd one out. And that is exactly what seeking validation is. You don't want to be left out. That's why plastic surgeries are a big thing right now. Seeking validation can take it is beyond influencing. It is control that people don't really know. And when you lack self-control, you lack self-love, you lack self-confidence, you lack self-appreciation, you don't have gratitude for who you are, then you don't know yourself, you don't appreciate yourself, you don't know your worth. And that is very, very sad. Everybody wants to look the same. Everybody wants to have the same lips, the same butt, the same breast, the same everybody, because they don't want to be left out of the standard that is set in place. And that's very sad. Very sad. Very sad. Do you know what? It took me time to actually accept that I am beautiful and I am very pretty. Because of I did not believe I am pretty. I did not believe that I am beautiful. I always believed I was ugly. So anytime somebody told me I was pretty or beautiful, I just felt that person was a sexist because of I had features. I had and then somebody told me I was beautiful. I never considered myself beautiful. I didn't consider myself having features that are sexual. That is the truth. If you don't consider yourself beautiful, whether you are the most pretty person, see the celebrities that are very, very good, they are top notch, they are everybody idolizes them, everybody wants to be like them. They don't feel they are pretty. Some of them don't still feel they are pretty. And it's painful because of I know pretty privilege exists. Pretty privilege actually exists, and I can't dispute that fact that it exists. The truth is that, like I said in my last video, you have to own it. Even when it is not there. And I said in the first point, fake it. Fake it that you have it. You don't believe you are beautiful. Keep telling yourself every day you are beautiful until you believe it. My mom was always telling me, right from when I was in primary school, she always tells us every day that you are beautiful, you are beautiful. But I never believed I was beautiful. So even when she told me, I just wiped it off. Like she just said it because I'm her daughter. But it's until you begin to believe it, you start saying it. The more you tell yourself you are pretty, the more you see how pretty you are, the more you tell yourself you are handsome, you look good, wow, you're amazing, you're talented. You begin to see it happening. The more you begin to feel it and embrace it. I think there's this movie going on. So I'm currently watching Lovely Runner. Beyond Wusuk. I hope I got his name right. Many girls are simping this uncle, hyping him up, and that's pretty privilege. I'm not disputing the fact, but like I said in my last video, people that are pretty, they know they are pretty. You don't need to tell them they are pretty. So the same thing goes with you. Know who you are before anybody tells you. Whether it's your insecurities or your strength, your weaknesses or your strength. Don't let anybody bring your weaknesses in front of you and portray their own insecurities on you. Know your weaknesses so that people don't press that button. Know your strength so you can use your strength a lot. Don't be ashamed. Remember, you can't shame the shameless. Tom Holland is about to feature in a movie, Romeo and Juliet. Yeah, the black lady that he casted as Juliet. People, people started portraying their insecurities on her. That she's not the standard, the so-called standard. She's not the average beauty standard. They said calling out her features as not being beautiful. It just shows how ugly this world is. And nobody cares. Nobody cares. So if anybody says a phrase or says something that is going to hurt you, wipe it up, dust it, because nobody cares. They are just portraying their insecurities on you. And instead, you should replace it with love. If people are giving you hate, just give them love and forget about it. It's hard, but the formula is so simple. The equation is hard, but it's a very simple formula. We're still growing self confidence, we're still learning. Thank you so much for subscribing, for sharing. Please share this video to somebody who you feel is battling with self doubt, insecurities, and seeking validation every time. Seeking validation has affected not just beauty and thinking I'm ugly, it's affected a lot about me growing up. From how I would talk to people to see whether they had any interest in what I was saying, to how I want to please people, being a people pleaser. It's just had a lot of very, very, very distinct, subtle, but very effective psychological impacts that I know it doesn't affect only me and a lot of people in the world. Yeah, I really hope you liked the video. I really hope you are more confident in yourself and you own it. Fake it till you make it. We're shameless, yeah. Hashtag shameless. If you made it to this part of this video, comment confident. Comment confident. Whether you're a guy or a girl, be confident in your flaws. I have a lot of insecurities I did not mention in this video, but I've learned that confidence is only if you have a big nose. You know you have a big nose. Nobody needs to tell you. You know.